Hey, my name is Thomas. It's Friday evening time for a beer and time to think about photography. And I have something to think about and I want to share it with you. This is going to be more a sort of personal video about photography. And I'm going to share a little bit of my current motivation with you. And also, I did one mistake last weekend and I learned 3 lessons from it. And also, that's the title of this video, 1 mistake, 3 lessons learned. I think always when we do something wrong, we have to fail to do something good actually, because we do something wrong, we learn from it. And that's why I want to share this thing with you now. So let's start. First, I have to very quickly maybe introduce myself as a photographer. I'm not sure how long you're following my channel. But my motivation for photography, everyone's got a very individual set of motivation and reasons why you do it. And my set is maybe also very individual. So I started photography at the age of 6 years when my big brother gave me a camera, more or less as a toy maybe. But I was hooked ever since. And so photography is really the passion of my lifetime. That doesn't necessarily mean that I made it a profession, but I work as a professional photographer as well. It's not my own my only profession, by the way. But it's my passion. It's how I process things. I see things, right? And I take a photo. I just have this urge to do it. No question there. The question is only how do I want to do it and what do I really want to show with my photos? And as maybe everyone, I'm struggling here and there and also going through different phases. And obviously I started analog. Back then there were no digital cameras. However, in my work as a graphic designer, I very early was using computers and Photoshop and stuff. So I'm also sort of a digital native, and it was very natural for me to transform from analog to digital photography in the late 1990s, early 2000s. Was a huge boost for my work because I was never a darkroom guy, but I was always a Photoshop sort of guy. So it was huge fun to process the photos on the computer, have them scanned, or just use digital files, all that stuff. And then more recently, I see how photography has exploded in numbers, maybe not in quality, but I mean there's Instagram and 500 pixel. Does anyone remember those? And all these other websites, and there are millions of photos, and every photo is yelling for attention. And what was a joy for me, the computer in the photography, that I can process everything with Photoshop. Today it's more like over processing. It happens already in the cameras. The smartphones automatically use AI to enhance your photos in certain directions, and it's taking a direction that I don't want to follow. So that's why I'm personally sort of going back to analog photography right now. And also I'm going back to black and white currently. Maybe that will change. And also, black and white analog photography. That's what drives me today. And now comes what happened last weekend. My significant other and me, we went on a very short sort of day trip here in southern Netherlands to the seaside, province Zeeland. And it was not a huge trip. It was just, going to 3 very small places. And in the end, we went to a city called Vlissingen at the sea. And we had some drinks and food. And then we would just drive back, something like that. So I would bring a camera naturally because I'm a photographer at heart. And my question was, will I take the analog one, the little Nikon with a T-Max 100 black and white film, or would I take the Fuji, the one that's filming me right now, Fuji X-E3, analog versus digital? And then I thought, I really want to pursue my analog photography, but the weather forecast wasn't good. It was a bit cloudy, gray and a bit dull looking. And I totally don't like to take analog black and white shots in gray weather. I think it looks a bit depressing, and yeah, it's just gray and gray. It doesn't give anything to me. I like analog photography with more dramatic light, or even with harsh sunlight, black and whites and shadows, and you know, that sort of stuff. And with digital, it's easy. Even in bad weather, you can always tweak your files a little bit, and color looks just better than analog black and white in those conditions. So I took the Fuji, and that was a mistake. We came back that day. It was a beautiful day. There were not huge photo opportunities. I didn't even expect them. And I took, I don't know, maybe 10, 15, 20 photos that, yeah, were fun to share between us two, and then also with our families, etc. So nothing special, but okay. However, when we arrived at the city of Vlissingen, there was this one situation where we looked onto the sea, and over the sea there was a huge dark cloud, super dramatic skies, really almost black skies. You saw the clouds of rain coming over down on the sea, whereas we at the beach, we were standing in the sunshine. Yeah, typical great seaside weather, which is why I love this Dutch coast so much. And I thought, wow, there's a motive, and now I really would have loved to take the Nikon, take an analog shot, run to my favorite lab in Cologne, have a big analog, I don't know, maybe a 12 by 18 inch print, something like that. And yeah, that would be it. That would be the outcome of the day. And at that moment, I didn't care for all the other photos that I took during the day, because they were just, I mean, with an iPhone, they wouldn't be so good, but it was more for memory and fun. I don't care about the quality there, just personal memory. But this one would have been a really cool photography. That would be something that I'm longing for these days. And a missed opportunity, because I brought the wrong camera. Well, for me, it was a missed opportunity. So, okay, I have to say that again. Always remember, we are very personal beings, very individual beings. Every one of us is on a different mission. My mission is this analog thing right now. Absolutely doesn't mean that this digital photo that I took was anything wrong, but currently it doesn't mean anything to me. And so the mistake that I made is I chose the wrong camera, and I sort of knew it when I left the house. And here come the 3 lessons that there are to learn. And I know, of course, the content of the 3 lessons, but I always fail to do it, because we all know how to do it better, and then we fail. And that's why I do this video, to also give you an opportunity to think about your own photography, and maybe you also have these ideas in your head and you know what to do, and then you just don't do it. So lesson number 1 learned: be more bold in following your target. If I would have been more bold, I would have ditched the Fuji, I would have taken the Nikon, and maybe only have taken 3 photos the whole day. Who cares? Great. Lesson number 2. You don't need to cover every motive. It's very connected to that. So when I take a black and white camera with a film, I know I'm not going to take motives that only work with the color cameras. I mean, in autumn, it's maybe hard when you have these beautiful autumn colors. I maybe shouldn't take a black and white camera there. But if I had an analog camera, black and white film, only in such a situation, okay, I would take some different motives and just leave the colorful motives to someone else. Who knows? So you don't need to cover every motive. It's better to sort of concentrate on something that you really want to do, and the rest, just forget about it. There are millions of others that can care for those motives, but you are on a mission for yourself. You want to concentrate. You don't have to cover every motive. I'm saying that also to everyone who's like, I see it often happen that people are like bringing a huge photo bag with wide angle, super wide angle, standard portrait, telephoto, super telephoto, everything, so they can cover whatever they see. And I always, when I'm traveling, I would be overwhelmed with so much equipment, and I don't need to cover so much. I'm very happy to carry only one camera, one lens. And so there I have learned the lesson. But in concentrating on analog photography, instead of taking the more versatile digital camera, there I didn't learn my lesson yet. And number 3 lesson, very important, accept and be okay if you fail. In my occasion, I failed because I took the wrong camera. I'm, of course, sort of okay with it. I know I have to do it better the next time, but it's not like I'm completely hating something. Doesn't make sense. Concentrate on what you can do better. Learn what you maybe did wrong in your own opinion, but don't get overwhelmed by some negative emotion. And also be okay if you fail. With that, I also mean if you're out there and you want to take some shot and you just don't find the shot, or you cannot take it because it doesn't materialize in front of your inner eye, be okay with that, accept that. You don't have to come back with results every time you take out your camera. Sometimes I walk with the camera the whole day, I don't even take one single shot, or I just take 2 shots and they're completely worthless. That's totally okay for me, because the photography is a process. Eventually you will come up with a good result. It doesn't need to be every time you're out with a camera. So that's the 3rd lesson. And I really hope that I'm gonna follow my own lessons, because, as I said, my pursuits on analog and black and white photography, so I really follow. The next time I'm in the same situation or a similar situation, I will opt for the Nikon and not go to the safe digital camera anymore. But let's see if it happens. Anyway, I hope you found this maybe interesting. Maybe you also can see yourself in similar situations, or you know what I'm talking about, or you have any ideas or comments or suggestions. If you have so, then write something in the comment section below. I always love to read all your comments. I really welcome them, and I will happily answer every single one of them. And apart from that, thanks for watching and listening. Means a lot for me. If you like this, then please leave a like and also subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so yet. That's a great help from me and from my channel, and also a huge boost. I totally love your support and I really appreciate that. And that's it for today. Thanks for watching Tom's Cameras. Live long and prosper. Have a great time. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye.